Mark, frustration that you weren't able to get anything out of that game?
Yeah, frustration, because we should be stood here talking about how good that point was, or that 3 points were. You know, we instead of talking about how we didn't do our jobs properly, I think leading up to that, leading up to the goal, set play really. There's a melee, and for whatever reason, we've lost focus, and that has given them a chance to move us around, manhandle us out of the way to create some space, and then we've let people run off us. There's no excuse for it. We've got to defend that properly, because they were magnificent in every other department. Absolutely incredible. You know, you're playing against one of the top sides. I said a few years ago about Norwich being one of the top teams, and these are, and we were, stride for stride, able not to just cope with it. We grew into it and then created the better chances of the teams. I thought some of the football we played was really good. We created really good chances and just didn't take one, so we needed to be more ruthless, and we needed to take one of those chances to have a chance in it, because they've got strength in depth, and that's what we haven't got at the moment. So we need to do some work. I need to try and help the group by getting some people in. We know that. We need to get people back off the treatment table and get them back into the fold as quickly as we can, without clearly hurting people. But we've got to make sure that we are in a position to be able to make changes that can affect it in a positive way. And we lost Josh Wilson-Esbrand to a swollen knee. He got a swollen knee. He had a clattering on Thursday. It swelled up. We thought he was going to be okay, and it turns out that he's not. And so ended up having 3 goalkeepers, but we didn't in the end need 3 goalkeepers. Didn't he? He travelled, yeah. He was there with us, but we thought he was going to be okay. But we couldn't risk him because there's still some swelling in his knee. We'll deal with that next week. And it's just the look that we're having at the moment, because we're trying to do things to bring quality, to help the group, to make sure that everybody's we've got a chance. And really, what killed us today was that they brought quality for quality on, and obviously the energy levels are there, and the fact that we really didn't. I mean, they coped with it really well, in fairness, but we didn't switch back on to defend that set play. You defend that set play, all of a sudden we're talking about a really good point, but we're disappointed we haven't scored to take all 3, because we've had top chances, and Jamie Allen's had a couple of really good chances. Header, he's pulled one wide. You've got Vic that they played him in, and I thought he might have just lifted it over them into the net, but we didn't get a shot away for that one. There's a couple where we got into good positions. Casey Palmer went through in the first half and just didn't get his stride pattern right to get the shot, and they got back, but they're a good team, and they work really hard to get back in. There's a lot to take heart from, and a lot of positives in there, but we're still ruining the not being able to, which is what we're so good at. And again, we need those reinforcements back. McFadzean is a big miss, and in terms of being a man and dealing with situations like an organising, we miss that voice. So we can do that. We've got some young lads that are learning on the job and doing a really decent job. And in fairness, there's a lot to be proud of about the performance, and the supporters were right behind us, and that's a major plus for us.
Gus, disappointment that you've come away with nothing today?
Yeah, I think you said that right. I think as a team performance we did really well, especially the first half. I think we didn't give them anything, and we came in the dressing room and we said we have to keep going and be proud on ourselves, how we do it so far. I think it was one of our best away performances from the first half. So yeah, it's disappointed that they don't score from in play, but they have to score from a set piece. So that is a bit disappointed. But I think there's a lot of positives in this game where we can take to the next game. So yeah, I think we have to look to the positives as well. But it's disappointing for today.
Yeah, because you effectively made the runaway leaders in the Championship pretty ordinary for certainly 45 minutes.
Sorry?
You made them look very ordinary, Burnley.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I think how we defended all together and we worked hard for each other. I think we did that really well. And what I say, we didn't give them any chance. In the second half, we didn't even give them that much chances as well. But I think they went more for the crosses. So the crosses came in, but then Rosie and Dole Bidders and Frankie defended that really well. So I think we didn't give them that many chances. So I think we can be positive for this game, but then you lose this still with 1-0.
Jamie Allen had a few chances, didn't he, in the first half?
Yeah, so.
And yourself, you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have opportunities to score, and I think especially the first half. If we score a 1-0, then after 0-1, then it's a whole different game, of course. But I think that as football, if you don't score your chances, they need one chance, and if it goes in, then you're 1-0 down, of course. So I think that's disappointing that we didn't make our chances and we were not ruthless enough. But we have to work on that. We will work on that, and then for Norwich next week, we can take our positives to the game.
Yeah, you would have backed Victor probably when he was 1-on-1 with the keeper at the start of the second half. They sort of played it into his path, and then it just wasn't to be.
To be fair, I didn't know how he got the ball, to be honest, because I was looking backwards where my opponent was, and then all of a sudden I heard the crowd screaming. So I turned around and I saw Vic 1v1 with the goalkeeper, and he has one of those days. He can score from midfield, he can score from in the box, he can score penalties, he can score everywhere. But today it didn't go in, and it's one of those days that we didn't score, and they did. That one chance they had in the corner, they did.